Hello, Namaskar. Welcome to NCRT's live interaction. As you all know that 4 to 5 is our webinar. So I am Simran Singh here for our today's webinar. But before starting our today's session, let me inform you about some of the basic details that you need to know in case you want to reach out to us. So we have our contact number for you where you can come up with your queries, your feedback, anything you feel like conveying to us, and also if you feel like asking to our experts. So our contact number is on your screens, that is 8800440559. And besides, as it's a special webinar session, so our mail ID is training@ciet.nic.in. So quickly let's talk about today's session because it will involve a lot of interest. As it is a series of online training, it will be conducted for 5 days from now, that is 25th of October to 29th of October, 4 to 5 p.m. that is our timing, and the topic is Stay Safe in the Cyber World. This webinar is organized by CIET NCRT in collaboration with ICEA, ISEA, SIDAG and Hyderabad. And we are joined by two experts with us who will throw more light on this session. We have with us Dr. Angel. Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar.
Ma'am is assistant professor from CIET NCRT. We are also joined by another reputed guest. We have with us Shri Chasmurthy sir. Namaste sir. Welcome to NCRT. Sir is an Associate Director at Center for Development of Advanced Computing from Hyderabad and National Coordinator Information Security Education and Awareness PMU. Under his guidance, Information Security Education Awareness Project, an initiative under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, won NASSCOM DSCI Excellence Awards 2019, that is Special Jury Recognition, for its concerted efforts in raising information security awareness and creating extraordinary mass outreach. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, sir. So let us bring up our today's session, and as I already told you that our topic of discussion is cyber safety in the light of NEP 2020. So as we all know that this month of October is often celebrated as Cyber Security Awareness Month, whose theme for the year is Do Your Part, Be Cyber Smart. So I would request sir to please throw a light and brief us regarding today's session. Yes sir.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank CIET and NCRT to conduct this training for teachers on these 5 days, next 5 days for continuous professional development or online training on cyber security and cyber safety. The objective of the training program is to inculcate the internet ethics, cyber hygiene, understanding information security, and the follow secure practices in the digital world. So as being we are celebrating National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, this kind of training program is very appreciable from the CIET and NCRT. And so because of this, whatever the training program which we are saying that cyber safety and cyber security, when it is coming to the, so there is a slightly difference between cyber safety and cyber security. When we are securing the devices, so when securing our information, what kind of methodologies we use it, that is generally called as cyber security. But however, the practices which we do for securing our information, as a personal point of view, so we generally call as cyber safety. And understanding these both terms are very important while we are going for such kind of training, because cyber safety is basically related to the personal point of view. When it is coming to the cyber security, it is a kind of devices, antiviruses, desktop firewalls, such kind of products and solutions which we are considering as part of the practice is generally termed as cyber security. So all we being generally playing in two roles. Am I right? So one role is basically our duties, whatever we are part of our regular works at offices, and second part is the personal. So personal means it's the same internet thing. We use it at office and we use it even as a home, as a personal use purposes. So there is no difference actually if you look into that. So both are common with respect to the information. The information which might be you are having at your place, and that means as a personal point of view at home, and the information of organization. So both are, when the common point, if you are looking at the information only. But the organization point of view, you may have some kind of support from organization to secure about your information with respect to the organization. But when it is coming to the personal point of view, you need to secure yourself at your home. Am I right? So that's why, so the cyber security practices are very much important for any individual. But however, why this training program is required for teachers, that we will discuss soon. But before that, I would like to tell some of the things which are happening at this moment. Today, we can surely say that the India is among us, the top 2 countries globally on many dimensions of digital adoption. So whatever the way that government is encouraging to move from the traditional to digital world, so we are becoming as faster, even though in the global competition in adoption of the digital things in our life. So it is almost estimating by 2022 a kind of an 1 trillion economy of business, digital economy we may be target. That means every activity, every traditional activity is slowly moving. We cannot say slowly, it's as much as faster, it is moving from traditional to digital. So entire tomorrow world, we are part of digital. So it is our responsibility while adopting this particular digital kind of world. So we need to be aware as much as, because as many as problems, as many as vulnerabilities exist in this digital world, which we can discuss in this room. So if coming to the history, or an estimated number of 600, so by the time this time itself, there are 900 million users are with mobiles. But however, 600 million users are majorly using a smart mobile. So when you are using smart mobile means you are almost 99% you are part of digital world, because you are able to manage some of the things through your mobile itself. So it is estimated a kind of 60 crore users, internet users through smart mobiles in India, and it's considered to be only the second largest online market in the world. So every global market, every global brand is looking our Indian market, so they try to get into some kind of business in this. While they can try to do this business, they may collect a lot of our personal information. So a majority of them access internet through these mobile phones, and freely we may give a lot of information by ourselves with knowingly or unknowingly. So that is where we need to be aware and knowing about the things of how it happens that internet accesses. So while even if you look at while greater internet connectivity via the world wide web promises a large scale progress. If you go back 10 years back, if you look about that, sending an email itself is a costly affair for us. Calling somebody in the US, calling somebody in the UK or Australia, it is a kind of some kind of like for a minute we used to pay 60 rupees, 90 rupees. But it's not like that. Because of the transformation of the digital thing, we are able to talk to anybody anywhere in this global network. So that with also, if you compare with the prices of anywhere in this world, the Indian broadband charges our internet charges are very lesser when compared to anywhere in this world. But along with that, so because when we are moving to the digitally as much as faster, that related to threats, attacks are also increased as much as fast as the internet is growing. So recently, according to the NCRP, the National Crime Records Bureau report, the number of cyber crimes across the states in India and more than doubled since 2017. So it's almost, even it's only the reported crimes. So from 22,000 to almost 45,000. But actually there are many numbers, it's only reported numbers. By 2019, it's almost within 2 years it's doubled. And of course now 21, because of the pandemic situation, it is 4 times of that what 2017 we have. So the nature of these crimes are listed out by NCRB, mainly publication or transmission of obscene, sexual, explicit act in electronic form, publishing or transmitting material upsetting children in sexually explicit, cyber stalking, bullying of women, bullying of children, defamation, mock faking, fake profiles, cyber blackmailing, and even though, some kind of threatening, cyber threatening, etc., are part of major crimes when you are considering this NCRB related activity as per the NCRB report. In this kind of scenario, it is evident that every digital native is prone to cyber attack. So they are used to attack an organization that rather than attacking an organization, now they are moving to the individuals who are working in an organization or who is having a lot of, you can say that the personal attacks are increasing because adding up 10 rupees, getting a 10 rupees from 1 crore people is the 10 crore people rather than hitting in a psycho-secured organization for 10 crore rupees. So that simple concept they were taking, so that they were trying to attack. Even though they wanted to attack an organization, that employees are the target. The behavior of internet, how they tracking is very important for them to track your organization also. So, but however, if you look about that, everybody is prone to the cyber attacks, but especially children and youngsters who are among the most vulnerable groups need to be made aware about the possible cyber threats and the ways to safeguard themselves against them, and also about the importance of hygiene, or hygienic use of the digital devices for security and safety. That is where we need to target. Even if you look about the NCRB report, the more on children and more on women, and lesser attacks on defamation, fake profile and cyber attacks. Of course, some of the fake profile attacks also on children and women are more. So we need to concentrate for giving an awareness on children and women majorly. So why we need to this is important for the teachers, because you know our teachers who actually play an important role in our life. They play as a friend, friendlyship with the students, and they may be philosophers. They act as a philosopher, and they act as a guide, they act as a mentor. So that they play a very important, vital role in this aspect, and also themselves to be aware of these threats and safe practices, so that it can be transformed to very easily to children and to their parents. So that is where these trainings are implementing. If you look about that, what kind of offences the children face at this present scenario, if you are looking with the NCRB, as we already discussed, 60 crore people are in India, they are using internet today. And as the usage of internet has increased, so have the cyber crimes of in India also. And recently, Ministry of Home Affairs has mentioned that around 93,000 cybercrime cases of hate, sexual exploitation were registered throughout the country between 2019 to 2021. It motivates include personal revenge, fraud, sexual exploitation, incite hate, etc. Accordingly, children are exposed to cyber threats like online grooming, child pornography, cyberbullying, etc. So online grooming is one of the process of befriending and establishing an emotional connect in slow, methodologically, and intentional process of manipulating a person to a point where they can be sexually victimized by the online predator. And not only that, because of the increase of the using of these devices as part of the pandemic online classes, so even though we observed that a lot of students are deviating from the actual classes to some kind of an internet messengers discussions. They are not able to concentrate continuously 4 hours or 5 hours of the classes in a day. They are moving to other acts they are into internet, other activities like going to movies, friend groups. They are participating into the various social networking groups, etc. So these are because of this movement from the actual space to their internet space. So what happening? These online grooming things are going on. And of course, cyberbullying, bullying is always be there, physical bullying or whatever. So when the people are moved from the physically to online classes, the cyberbullying cases also increases. And nowadays, to take a personal revenge and etc., the morphing things, see, because the number of tools are available, the people are, say, they are very smart to learn as much faster than when compared to the adults. So they are learning that how to copy a movie from the so-and-so OTT to their system, how to download these systems, even though how to copy a picture, add the picture to tag the picture to others. These things are growing as part of this particular pandemic time and last 2 years. So these are the morphing cases are also increased. So we are thinking that this is one could be the reason because their participation increasing through online classes, etc., and making befriending among the groups, participating the groups. Even yesterday, one of the 4th class student came and asking about my kid who is studying in 10th class, saying that share the email. 4th class student is asking a 10th class student and they wanted to be part of a kind of a group, they wanted to play games. So that is where the internet is growing. So that's what we need to look about, concentrate on these things. On another side, the online child pornography. Even the government is trying its best to control this child pornography, but however, due to some technological issues, even the blocking of some kind of URLs, turning into other URLs, they are coming as a different URL by changing 1 or 2 letters. So that is where continuous process and blocking every site is not very difficult for the government also. But being the part of this country, we need to do also. So these are what could be the effects of these online crimes on women and children. That basically creates a kind of a mental distress, emotional trauma. You see, it's not we are talking about everybody, but who are part of this particular pandemic, even though continuously staying at home, continuously staying on internet. So it is also creating some kind of mental distress, emotional trauma. Maybe it can go further to physical trauma also. And of course, because of the number of attacks are happening because of the vulnerabilities which we are accessing internet, there could be a monetary loss also, and even the humiliation. These are the kind of attacks that are happening at this moment. So, what kind of practice that make digital user prone to the cyber attacks in online environment that should be avoided at this moment? So, basically, the attacks are increasing with respect to as a personal, like those who are doing a financial transaction. When it is coming to that, the OTPs and the pins are very important. See, the OTPs, pins are the things which were given to us as a part of the multi-factor authentication. That means we have a password, but the OTP is the second factor to apply to confirm the transaction. But however, that the fraudsters are brilliantly befriending with us, and they were acting as like they are helping us and taking these OTPs. So that is one way is as part of the social engineering, and the other way is basically technological things. So we need to understand these things, how it is happening, and how we can avoid it. Of course, sharing the personal information. Let's say if I'm going on tour, I'm traveling from Hyderabad to Delhi, so that it is as an information. This information can be utilized in different purposes also. So that is where we need to be controlled our information as much as with us only, not posting everything on that. See, but it is incidentally what happening now while you are joining this particular social networking sites, we are not setting the right way that what need to be shared and what not to be shared. So that is where sometimes what happens, even though we are forgetting to control while we are traveling. So that's what this information is simply passing out of that particular social networking itself. So it is telling about our information. That's what we need to understand, the controlling our information in the social networking sites also. And sharing the location with members on social media platforms. If you are moving, things are known by somebody, so it is easy to understand your vulnerabilities by them. So that's what we need to always control our location, sharing about the location by stopping the GPS applications and updating about the whereabouts in the social media platform. I always suggest that you always make yourself post if you want.
Yeah, sir. Sir, could you hear us?
That is a trade.
Yeah.
So after returning back, only you post
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
pictures
Please go
and
ahead.
post on online. So that is to control some of the things to avoid sharing the information. So these are some of the tips. That's what we explained to you about that. Teachers are the right people who can take this program to, like, who are target, whom we are trying to aware, like children, even the parents. But this planning would be very much help, and we appreciate T and NCRT for making such kind of opportunity and meeting the teacher. Very much for giving opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing these minute details with us. Now, I would like to ask Dr. Angel, as we are discussing about cyber safety in the light of NEP. So, ma'am, my question to you is, how does NEP 2020 talks about being cyber safe in this world?
Thank you so much. I was listening to the previous speaker giving a complete detail of being being safe in the cyber world. As such, NEP 2020 directly don't point out the word as cyber safety or security, but it speaks holistically as a school safety itself, because the school safety includes cyber safety as one of the essential component. So when we read the NEP 2020, it's very clear that from the starting till ending, it talks about various aspects of having a safer environment in the school. So now schools are part and parcel of the cyber world. Like, schools are not just within that four walls, and now it is online classes are happening even after COVID pandemic. When the normal school system is going to start, we are going to have this impact of this online education or the digital education in the physical classroom as well. And all our students are somehow or in some way they are connected to the cyber world. Even if there is the teachers are not going to use any online class, students by themselves have started using the online system. It's not about class. Even every small children, like 4-year child is given the mobile to watch some videos. The child watches video in YouTube. It's nothing about just school alone. It is cyber safety is just not within the component of school, but it is just beyond that. So when NEP talks about school safety, it is not just within the school campus, but it talks about how the community involvement is there, where, like, when we come to a community, when this child goes outside the school as well, a safer environment has to be provided for the student. And it is also a responsibility of the parent to give a better home environment where there is a concern of the cyber safety is taken care, and all the devices in the houses are made secure for a child to use for the education purpose. So when we talk in the light of NEP, we understand that cyber safety and security being part of school safety, it's one of the major aspect which is proposed in the NEP itself.
Very rightly said, and as you just explained that schools are no more confined to the four walls of a classroom, And we can see that there has been a digital shift during such trying situations like COVID-19. So ma'am, here comes an important issue, like when we talk about the online form of education, there are certain safety concerns. So how does NEP 2020 address this concern, or is there any strategy that has been depicted for this?
Okay. As such, if we see, the policy doesn't specify every strategies that has to be implemented. That is where there is a lot of focus paper that is prepared, and then curriculum framework is developed, and then the content, whatever the essential things which is pointed out in NEP is brought into a strategy in the form of content and activities through the textbooks and through other materials, resources which is given in the school system. So in that manner, if we see whatever essential components we talk under cyber safety and security, whatever strategies the school has to follow, whatever activities a school can conduct in the school has been described in various guidelines that is given by the government and as well as organizations like NCERT as well as CDAC. So it's very important that not just to take the line from NEP, but we also should get into every stakeholder to understand what kind of activities we can keep doing it. NEP also points out that there should be capacity building programs, which is an essential part of in-service teachers training, in-service teachers life, as 50 hours of capacity building program. So this is one training, the training which is happening for this 5 days is also part of it. So that's one of the strategies, like, no, like first of all the awareness has to be created among the teachers. So for that there should be capacity building programs. So this 5 days online program is one of the strategy we are using for it. Similarly, NEP talks about various resources should be used to bring this generic concerns into the system. That is where a lot of e-content is developed. Digital resources are developed related to the cyber safety and security, and it is being disseminated. NEP also points out to conducting various activities in general to bring all the generic concerns, which cyber safety is one among that. So that is where there are a lot of activities happening, like if you see every month the first Wednesday is celebrated as Cyber Jagrudha Divas. And as part of it there is quiz conducted, there is a lot of competitions being conducted. So these are all these strategies that, that are derived from NEP to create the awareness in cyber safety and security.
Apart from this, ma'am, could there be some another strategies at the school level particularly that principals or the school heads can undertake to ensure cyber safety for students?
Yeah. Surely, how much ever there are a lot of guidelines, but to reach the child, the only path is to whomever the child is interacting, they need to take this awareness to the children. Though there are several national programs going on, but still the role of teacher and the school and parents and the community or neighborhood plays a very important role in creating this awareness among children, as well as it's always, we think as adults, we think always children have to get the awareness, but the reality is many times as teachers we need to have that awareness. Right now students are better than teachers. Sometimes teachers are not aware what exactly I have to do when things goes wrong, or somewhere we have got affected, or somewhere we have got attacked, like some attack we are facing. So it's not always awareness about students, it is always awareness of everyone involved in the whole process. For example, I could just state one of the scenario we recently faced. We had a group, WhatsApp group, which a Telegram group. We had more than 5,000, 6,000 users in a group where we were using to disseminate information. So our group was hacked. So the moment the group was hacked, we were all, the administrators were removed from the group. But it was, though many of them who are attending our sessions are part of the group, immediately the way the conversation is happening in the group, the people in the group were not able to make out that the group is hacked. But some of them were immediately able to identify the way messages are coming is not, it is not in the right manner, so something has gone wrong. So the awareness the people have got already through some programs help them to immediately walk out of the room. So similarly, there is experienced teachers then, so these experiences has to be shared among teachers, it has to be shared with students so that they learn from each other. So these are some of the experience sharing session that has to be conducted regularly in the school. It cannot be done in a very rigid manner as an assembly that we talk every day 10 minutes. Most of the time in assembly, students will be sleeping and they don't listen to it, right? So it has to be given to the children in an innovative way. There are a lot of in the school there are clubs. There are clubs called as cyber clubs which are there where students themselves meet every week and under the guidance of a teacher, they share their experiences and they also ask questions what they have heard. Sometimes the teacher brings newspaper and then tell them, okay, now let's take all these as case studies and let's have a discussion. So if we can plan certain activities like this in the classroom so that the students interact with the content and also discuss from the experiences and the actual situation rather than giving lectures, because nowadays lectures is full of content and the content is already available in web. There is no need for training sessions at all. Any child goes to web and then searches, they'll be able to get the content. So the reality is something that we need to bring to the classroom. So there is a need for teachers to create some scenarios where they are able to interact with the students, the real cases, and then discuss. The other approach every teacher or the students school can follow is to have an integrated approach. Many times we do, like today we have a session on cyber safety. So students are not so much excited about it. They'll say like, okay, 5 things are there, let this be another sixth idea. So in that case, whenever a teacher is talking about in the classroom, when they talk about even pollution, they should talk about what is e-waste. Whenever they talk about how to, in social, like even in EVS class, when they talk to students about how we should behave, how we should act, like we are teaching class 1 child, there is a story. In English NCERT book, there is a story called 3 Pigs. So in that English book, they talk about how we need to love each other, how we need to respect each other. Even when that kind of lesson is being taken in English class, there is a need to tell that it's not just respecting each other in the physical world, but also in the digital world.
Space,
yeah. So this kind of an integrated approach will make the child feel that it's not something different that we are learning about cyber safety. It's part and parcel of our life. So such activities can be taken up at the school level by the teachers, and it's very important for the administrators to also take care of bringing this awareness among the teachers itself. So whenever there is such online training programs, if school can conduct themselves, it's very good, or even if not, they can also depute teachers or inform teachers about the programs that's happening. And there is a dedicated website which ISCA CDAC is having for having all the resources related to cyber safety practices. So those websites can be referred by, because they have a lot of activities, because within this 1 hour we cannot list all the activities. So the resources have been developed, what kind of activities can be conducted. And those resources are made available in the website that can also be accessed by the teachers and administrators for creating the awareness.
I'm sure this information would be very helpful for our viewers, and also the kind of activities that ma'am just discussed about. I think this could just enhance the creativity and boost and empower the enthusiasm within the classrooms. And ma'am, besides this, there's a general concern. Nowadays we have a longer hours on the screen, or our screen time has increased in our day-to-day lives. Basically you can say that it's the digital space, maybe that's why, or maybe due to online mode of education, whatever the reason seems right here. But at the same time, it offers some of the health concerns, not only for the youngsters but also people of different age, maybe adults, adolescents as well. So ma'am, what would you suggest in regards to economics for this?
Yeah. This is a very important concern, and already Mr. Murthy has already brought up a lot of things. about what could be the psychological as well as emotional impact that this cyber exposure to cyberspace can create. It also affects physically, we are all aware of it, but we cannot run out of it. That's how the situation is. So what simple things we do, like whatever we practice, I think I can share here. Because earlier days, like nowadays there is a lot of online sessions which is for 1.5 hours continuously. So we tell them, like after 15-20 minutes, we tell them to stop. We stop the session in between and tell them to just do a kind of stretching exercises or kind of a blinking activities. Earlier I was working in one of the corporate company, like we were, like how the IT companies work, and you will be like attached to the system for 8 hours. The best practice which I have seen is the system automatically is set up that like every 1 hour it will have, like the system will automatically go to the sleeping mode, and there will be a blinking icon which comes. So it states that now it's 1 hour, just blink your eyes. So after 2 hours it will just again icon will come and say just stretch your leg. It's all very, very simple thing, but it has a very great impact on our health. So these are some of the things even the teachers can practice. Like primary classes also nowadays, they are keeping continuously class for 1 hour. Like in the last week I was just observing my cousin's child attending the class. She was having 1 hour continuous class, and she was switching off the video mode and the audio mode, and she started chatting with us. So I was telling, you are an online class, you should attend. So she said, how long we will attend, it's boring, I should speak in between, otherwise I will not have concentration. Then she started jumping, so she automatically switches off the video. So rather than that, if the teachers itself can plan physical activities in between the online classes, may not be a great activity, it is just raise up and read out your book, just swing your hand, simple things. This may not be very applicable to adolescent, it will become so funny in the classroom, but teachers know how to handle their own children. Its only thing is right now after going online, we have forgotten that it's completely online, so we have forgotten that we have to engage them physically. Otherwise teachers are well aware how to keep the attention of the teachers, students. So only thing we need to tell to ourselves now, if we can apply whatever we do in our physical classroom, whatever we take care in the physical classroom, in the digital world also our physical health can be retained. And with respect to screen time, we really need to take care of it. Many schools, like there is a suggestion of how much hours of screen time can be exposed to what age of children, and also for the adults. We have given that in the Pragyata guideline, which is for guideline for digital education, and we have seen now a lot of schools are implementing that. Like not too earlier, it was like continuously classes were there. Now they are giving sufficient breaks in between, but it's very important to engage the children in physical activities to really take care of the health. So consciously the schools have to plan some activities. Otherwise they had at least games period. Now there is no games period, there is no sports during this online activities, but we have seen some schools doing games period in the online, like doing yoga online during the online class. They don't really keep their eyes watching there, but all are doing, so it's only happiness to see everyone doing at a time yoga. So there are some like instead of shifting completely to virtual games, they were also telling them some kind of a games where they can play with kids around sitting there together. Even adolescents were asked to discuss with parents and get back, or to discuss with kind of neighborhood and get back, or discuss with the family members and get back. So such activities can be planned to reduce screen timing. And nowadays some of the schools are implementing flipped classrooms, where they are telling more to observe, discuss in the physical part in the evening. When they come to online class, they focus more on the online discussion mode, where a child can even put only hear and then walk and then listen. Only thing, in the name of disciplining, if we don't restrict children, sit straight in the online class, keep all the time video on and look directly to the screen, we have to plan ourselves that we need to give that comfort for the child, so that there is no, we can reduce, surely there is an impact, but at least we can reduce the impact on physical health, so that the children will regain back and come back to the school.
Sure, I think, and the school environment has to be a bit flexible, because in the changing scenario, there's a lot of shifts that we are witnessing, and especially during COVID-19, there's a major shift in the education system of students. So I think the activities that have been suggested by ma'am might seem very basic, but at least we can start from that. Thank you.
Yeah, very basic is nowadays 1 hour classroom, people don't drink water in that 1 hour.
Yeah.
But we know that when we are sitting just before the screen, there is a lot of heat which is coming out. It is simple thing. We are starting with very simple activities, but it really makes a lot of impact on the physical health of a child.
Yeah, sure, and I hope our viewers will keep that in mind. Now again, I would request Mr. Murthy to step in the conversation. Sir, as you just presented the data regarding the internet users in the country and also the risk of cyber safety that we encounter today. So sir, our question is, what is the data governance strategy of the nation with regard to cyber safety risk?
Yeah. When it is coming to the data security, you see that majorly now we are facing about inappropriate content in the internet. See, because the people are moving to digital world, but people moving out to the internet, many people, but the content they are posting, whether the content is the appropriate content or not appropriate content, that is where we need to look about that. So that is one thing. And second, because most of the people, even if you look about that, some YouTube title would be different when you go to the YouTube channel inside, that the video is entirely different. So the content, the students, when they are accessing such kind of data, so whether they need to know about that, whether it is appropriate or not appropriate, that is the first thing. Then when coming to the second point, the security, so when you are sharing the information, when you are sharing the data across the internet, the major worry is about the security. So because recently there is whatever that the government of India is introducing about data privacy bill, so that helps a lot to the data security also. However, along with the cyber security, when you are considering with respect to data, the strategies which we implement with respect to the data, this privacy bill also tells about that the containment of the data. Of course, if an organization collecting, a social networking organization collecting your data, so how to secure, how to protect the data is also a very important aspect. So in this, so that is where we need to look about that. This data privacy bill helps a lot for the security of the data. And third, second thing is that, see, even when you are posting some kind of information, we need to have some kind of responsibility and a kind of appropriate data we need to post it. Along with that, securing our personal information. So there are so many ways are there, so many tips are available. Maybe this next 4 days, this data security also they will discuss, and they can know more things about the data security.
Yeah, so thank you so much for enlightening us about such important detail. And also, sir, we have another important question. As we all know that emails or maybe the instant messaging is a kind of source that is often used for instant messaging or to depict any kind of information that is really urgent. So are messages or emails safe in the cyber world?
Yes, it is. That's what we need to look about that when you are sharing this information. So we need to follow that what kind of information we are sharing. See, because everybody needs to follow their own policy. When we are looking about the organization and we are trying to establish as part of the standards and compliances, organization must have established a kind of a policy with respect to their products, their components. In the same way, we insist for every person, because persons are more target at this moment as an individual targets if you are looking about that. So that we insist that every person should have a kind of a policy by themselves what kind of data they can share in this instant message. Even though you can say that it is an urgent basis, you are sharing email, but there are methodologies. That's what we need to learn, this cybersecurity kind of solutions, adapting the solutions. Like if you are sending an email, you can use a kind of an encrypted email communication. And if you are sending a WhatsApp message or instant message, we have a variety of kind of solutions are there to secure our data, personal information. So they are something kind of an end-to-end encryption also. Let's take example, when you are sharing end-to-end, sharing a message in WhatsApp or Telegram, they are saying about end-to-end encryption. So end-to-end encryption means here is the data when moving from your mobile to other mobile is only encrypted. But at data at rest, that means the data at your mobile or data after moving or after whomever recipient and after receiving, the data is stayed at that mobile is not secure. Even when you are taking backups of your WhatsApp messages or we are taking a backup to a Google, so it's not encrypted again. So we need to understand those things clearly so that once we know that, once we are aware about that, we can take care of about all these encryption kind of technologies and we can secure our data.
Yeah, so very rightly mentioned, and it is very important to take care of your data, of your personal information, because you are the one who chooses what to do and what not to do. So obviously it's very important to be cyber safe in this world. And as you all know that we are conducting this 5 days online training for you, that is on stay safe in the cyber world. So I would request Dr. Angel to please guide us more about the training sessions and what do we have, as we know that there's a quiz also. Ma'am, please.
Yeah. So this program of 5 days training is being conducted as part of this month being a cyber awareness month. So this 5 days training is going to focus on stay safe in the cyber world, and every time we have one single webinar session where a lot of questions we keep receiving about what exactly I have to do in this particular situation, kind of if my phone has got like password is hacked, what should I do? Or if something has happened, how should I protect? In an online class, what control I should do? There were a lot of questions like this all the time. So now from tomorrow onwards, coming 4 sessions is going to completely focus on one area at a time, so that the participants will be able to get a lot of information and practical tips. And also there will be few demonstrations how you can really safeguard yourself in the cyber world. This program is not only for teachers and students or the school administrators. This is also for every single person in the world who can make, because we are all going to use it. Only one day the session is more specific to how school can play a role in creating this cyber awareness. But otherwise this program will be useful for every single individual. So even small students can participate, parents can be part of the session. And if you are in a school or if you are at a job and you are not able to watch online from 4 to 5, they can always watch in the playlist after this program is over also. This 5 days continuously you have to attend the session to get the holistic understanding of cyber safety and how you can practice a good practice. But at the end of this 5 days there is going to be a quiz, and whoever participates in the quiz and scores more than 70% will receive the participation certificate for this 5 days online training program. And this is not going to be the end, this is the first training program. Whoever is getting certificate out of this program will be contacted for the further program. If based on your willingness to become a mentor, to become an ambassador, or to become a leader in spreading this awareness across the country. So whoever is interested can keep watching us. So we have a dedicated web page in the CIT website. All these programs, whichever online training programs are being conducted, the information is available in CIT website. Under the point called events. So when they click on events in the tab, they'll be able to see workshops and online training, and all the details about registration, what will be the process, where they can access, all the links will be provided there, so they can keep watching us there and following us there itself.
And I think this session would be really, really fruitful for you, as ma'am already explained that a lot of activities we'll be having in this session, and the quiz is really an important part. And once again, I would like to tell you that the session will be conducted for 5 days. Today is our first day where we discussed about cyber safety in the light of NEP 2020. We'll be having topics regarding that. So our quiz will be based out of these 5 sessions itself?
Yes, the questions will be only from the 5-day session. So even if you have missed, watch all the 5 days session in the last day and learn about it, participate in the quiz.
All right, all right. That is a good news that in case you miss out on our sessions, then NCERT Official is the right place where you can find details of all our sessions, and 4 to 5 is a regular timing for the session where we'll be discussing about various aspects of cyber safety. And well, ma'am has told you about various details of this, but still I would like to tell you that in case you want to participate, what is the format for that? You'll find a link in CIET's website under the events where ma'am just explained, and then you can watch our training sessions in NCERT Official, and all our live sessions are streamed there. And once you register on the link, I would like to inform you that the link of the quiz will be mailed to you via mail. So in case you score over 70%, obviously you will be eligible for the certificate. Now most of the people out there have questions that am I eligible to register for this quiz or not? So the answer is yes, because the quiz is open for all. Our sessions are open for all, be it students, be it general public, teachers, teacher counselors, everybody can be a part of NCERT. Okay, so just submit your feedback, and also you can follow up our sessions. So as we are not left by much time in this session, I would request Dr. Murthy for the last concluding remarks for today's session. Dr. Murthy.
Yeah, before closing these things, and I wanted to tell you 5 things how we can help our children shape online. The first one is that keep them safe through open communication. That means we need to be honest dialogue with our children about who they communicate with and how. Make sure they understand the value of kind and supportive interaction on the internet. And the second point is basically use technology to protect them. So we need to use some kind of tools which we are available, that we will be discussing in the day 5, so that that technology can be helpful to protect them. And more, our third point is spending the time with them online, along with them, and guide them is also very much important. It maybe is for parents, I am telling that. And second is, fourth one is encouraging healthy online habits, the cyber hygiene program, which we have also. So that they can be they can be encouraged to participate in that, and they can have cyber hygiene practices. And of course, fifth one, I'll wish them have a lot of fun and express themselves in the internet itself, so that they can learn all these cyber security practices. Thank you very much.
Surely, sir, this information would be very productive and helpful for our viewers out there. I would thank sir for being here and enlightening us about such important details. Thank you, sir. And we also had with us Dr. Angel. Thank you, ma'am, so much for guiding our path through this. And I would like to inform you that we have to wrap up the session for today. But it's a 5 days online training, so you can be a part of this online training tomorrow from 4 to 5. Thank you so much. But stay connected to NCERT, as we'll be having our upcoming Sahyog session. Namaskar.